I'd like to introduce to you the 2008 Fuel EX. The 2008 Fuel EX from Trek has some amazing new technologies, and that comes under the name of R1I, which is suspension intelligence. And these three new technologies are significant because they add a lot more control to you, the rider, on the trail with this bike by using these technologies. The first technology I want to introduce you to is ABP, the active braking pivot. This is a patent-pending technology only available from Trek. It takes the pivot location in the rear of the bike and puts it concentric to the rear axle. By putting it concentric to the rear axle, it significantly reduces the effect of brake to suspension. Normally in a braking situation on a suspension bike, as you're braking, the suspension will stiffen and the bike will skip and lose control. Not with ABP. The active braking pivot reduces this so you have more control, especially when you're going into situations where you're turning and you need control and you are braking, the suspension remains active, you remain in control. The other key technology we're introducing for 2008 is full floater. And full floater is significant because it takes the rear air shock and it now articulates it between two linkages. In the past, a rear air shock was attached by the bottom to the seat tube in a fixed position, and you only had the rocker link above to tune that rear air shock. With full floater, you now have two linkages to tune, so you can optimize the performance of the rear shock to get a very good small bump feel to the suspension, but also have a very nice bottomless feel to the big hit of the suspension bike. This very dialed suspension allows us to articulate and tune the rear shock to get this type of performance for the Fuel EX, and allows a lot better rider control with their suspension bike for 2008. On the 2008 Trek Fuel EX, we have what's called the Evo Link. This is a new type of link design that's a one-piece rocker link. In the past, rocker links were traditionally two plates bolted together. When you make a one-piece design, it significantly enhances the stiffness. It's 35% stiffer than that old plate and bolt style design. It's 15% lighter than those type of links that we've had in the past with that stiffness. The other thing that's nice about the design, we can use multi-material. We'll have magnesium Evo links available on the Fuel EX 9.5 and 9.0, and then the aluminum links below that. All three of those technologies add up to R1I, only available from Trek Bicycle for 2008 on the Fuel EX.
The Fuel EX was just blew me away. Totally blew me away. Plush, efficient, climbs great, and just control when you're coming down the hill, when you're braking. I mean, it just always is working. It just has no weakness to it. It was just incredible.
That bike, the EX8, EX9 have been selling really well in our shop this year, and so to see the new revisions to the platform now for 08, I think it's going to make it that top full suspension trail bike for us, because mainly trail bike is cross-country race bike, and a trail bike is probably our main sales.
The EX, it climbed wonderfully, it descended wonderfully. It just, again, it was really, really well balanced for me, so I really enjoyed that.
9.5 EX was my favorite. Rear suspension on the EX that really kept me on the trail. It was nice. I just felt more in control, pretty much. I felt a little more secure through any kind of terrain, and I'm not really used to this type of terrain. The rocks over the hard pack is not really what I know. I know the mud and the roots and everything else, and so having something like that to help me feel more secure was great. I mean, I ride a hardtail mostly, and this was the bike that rode closest to a hardtail as far as lateral stiffness and tracking, and it was great. I think that's why I was most comfortable on it.